Edgar Sanchez, and my presentation will be based on the language barrier here in our border town. All who live in El Paso understand that Mexican culture is very alive here. For those who have moved here from other cities, specifically those who do not speak Spanish, communication may be an issue. In a town that is made up of about 81% Hispanics, it may be easier to survive while speaking only Spanish versus speaking only English, depending on what side of town you're on. Although El Paso is located in Texas, it is important to remember that this very land used to be in the territory of Mexico before December 29, 1845. Many who come to visit El Paso or live in El Paso begin to realize that Spanish is very commonly spoken here in our town. Although to some, the diversity of El Paso and the fact that so many people speak Spanish can be appreciated, at the same time this comes with problems for others as well. Fort Bliss, which has been around since 1849, is a very vital part of our city's infrastructure. Many of those who come to start a life in El Paso because of military orders begin to experience conflict with the language barrier, not because they do not speak English, but instead because they do not speak Spanish. This dynamic of a town next to a military base and another country at the same time comes with its own unique challenges. 1 in 3 children fostered in El Paso come from active duty military families. These children are faced with the challenges of having nowhere to go because of the lack of English-speaking families in our town. My stance on the issue is that we need to come together as a community and work together and help each other minimize or eliminate the language barrier completely. I suggest that we can do this by trying to meet in the middle. Those who do not speak Spanish and come to live in El Paso must understand that we are a border town and that Spanish is a very important language in our town. As well as those who come to live in El Paso that do not speak English must understand the importance of speaking English as well. While conducting research for my oral history project, I talked to a lot of people on both sides of the border. I thought that in order to get an accurate representation about how people feel about the issue, I needed as many different opinions as possible. While waiting in line to cross back into the United States, I met a woman named Rosario. Rosario and I got a chance to talk for a good amount of time while waiting in the customs line. Rosario told me that she lived in El Paso but did not speak English. Interestingly enough, I asked her if she faced any challenges being that she lived in Texas and did not speak English. She told me that she is able to communicate just fine while living here in the border town. This did not surprise me at all. I also decided to interview my grandma. She was born in Mexico and came to live in the United States to start a new and better life. Although she had no education and did not speak English, she was still brave enough to move to California regardless of the challenges she knew she would face. This is one of the questions I asked her, and this is what she had to say.
¿Piensas que a los que no saben inglés los deben de ayudar o hacer cosas para ellos para que puedan entender las cosas que están en inglés? Sí. No.
Allá si no llegas a una parte donde, pues claro, en un restaurante y esos sitios, si vas, digamos, al correo,
¿Nadie te ayuda?
I'm basically asking her if she thinks we should help those who do not speak English in our community. And she said that she believes that we should help them, but she also mentioned that learning English is something that is very important as well. I also decided to interview my mom. She is fluent in English and Spanish. Her job title at work is called a community smile maker. So she is part of the marketing department of a dental company called Cool Smiles. And because of this position she holds, she is required to interact within the community and communicate with others in El Paso on a day-to-day basis. This is one of the questions I asked her.
Have you experienced any advantages or disadvantages because you speak Spanish here in El Paso?
Absolutely. I'm able to communicate with everybody, no matter, I don't have a language barrier with anybody in this city. I can speak fluent Spanish, I can speak fluent English. I know the culture, and I'm able to basically walk around in El Paso knowing exactly, what the culture is. I can deal with people and be diverse.
Do you feel that we should accommodate those who only speak Spanish in our community here in El Paso?
I don't think we have a choice. I don't think we have a choice as whether to accommodate to them or not. They're part of our infrastructure. They are our shoppers. They provide a lot to our city. So I think in some way we do have to accommodate to them.
To conclude my presentation of this issue, I would like to end by saying that if we just make an effort to work together and attempt to communicate more effectively, we can slowly but surely eliminate this language barrier in El Paso and ultimately live better lives here in our very unique city. Thank you for watching.